Hi, and welcome to Blue Panties and Bourbon, where generally I read my cheating deceased ex-husband's emails because I can't afford therapy. I've only been at this for a few days, like 4 or 5. I didn't really expect anybody to care or pay attention. But I have had a lot of questions about like our relationship and did I know certain things, blah, what happened? So I think this is going to be boring. I don't think this is going to be as much fun as me reading the crazy ass shit that he wrote to people. But if you're actually really interested, I'll tell you, I don't know how to encapsulate 17 years of my life into less than, 10 minutes, because much more than 10 minutes, the internet does not want you to upload that. So anyway, let's see. The most common questions that I have been asked, let me answer that, has been, did I know anything? Did I suspect anything? When did I find out? Yada, 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 blah. So let's deal with that one first. Did I know or suspect anything? Yes, I did. The whole last year of 2024 that he was alive from like January on, yes, I did. I had suspicions. He was going to visit one of his children in January, and I was helping him pack, and I was doing his laundry, and, we were pulling out different bags and suitcases to figure out which would be the best, because everybody knows, like, air travel is terrible now. But in one of the backpacks he pulled down, he left it open. And in that backpack that he left open on the floor, there was a bag of toys. Toys that were not going to go in any geographical location that I would have agreed with them being put. So that was the first thing, and there was man panties, there was laundry. I'm like, the fuck. But I didn't say anything, sent him off to his son, and we had a whole fight while he was there because I didn't want him to come home, because I was like, I know something's going on. And of course it was all the, it's all in your head, you're just paranoid, so on and so forth. So segue, he came back in January, and then in the months that followed, again, doing laundry, found man panties in his pocket, like these little mesh crotch things that just had like a little strip. It was like a mesh crotch and then like straps. So it was like assless man panties, and then like a place for your junk to go. I found that in his pocket. He tried to convince me that was a jock strap, and I went, well, then where's the cup? And then I found lingerie in the on the floorboard of the car as I was loading groceries in. Again, I just brought it in. I mean, I'm not a hysterical person. I just brought it in. And just the same things like the man panties, I just put them out and was like, do you want to talk to me about this? Same thing with the lingerie. Do you want to talk to me about this? And this was actually in August. So this was literally maybe 6-8 weeks before he died. And just tried to have a conversation with him. And was like, look, I'm just trying to be your friend. What's going on? What are you doing? Obviously, you're doing something. There's obviously something going on. I mean, we had already been sleeping in separate rooms. I mean, he skeeved me out. Just being around him was like giving me the heebie-jeebies. But the house was mine, and he wouldn't leave, and he would play on my sympathies. He was 71. You can't just put me out, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, take your Social Security. You should get your Social Security. You're 71 years old. You should have taken it when you're 70. You don't get anything more after 70. They don't give you more money after 70. 70 is the cutoff. That's as much as you're ever going to get. So take it at 70. I'd actually begged him to take it at 67 during the pandemic, during COVID. So we weren't so strapped. I mean, because, we had our own business. We worked for ourselves. And I really, really wanted him to, like, take his Social Security back then. But my mom had passed away. We'd sold her house. So I had a good bit of money. So we ended up living off that money during the pandemic, during COVID, like just to get us through. We were still seeing people, but having to be very careful. And a lot of people weren't coming in. And I'm a medical massage practitioner. I do corrective exercise therapy. He was a strength and conditioning specialist. I probably should have explained that earlier. So yeah, so there was that. But what I found out, like when I found out, like by tossing his bookshelf while he was in the hospital, I found my lingerie, I found my panties, and I also found a lot of paperwork where he had not actually filed for his Social Security, and I couldn't understand that. Why would you not do that? Why wouldn't you have done that years ago? And the reason was, as I found through more paperwork, that he still owed his wife before me. I'm his third wife. His second wife, he still owed her like $75,000. And so he didn't want to file for his Social Security because they would have garnished his wages to pay her off. But if he'd have done it when, you know, he was 67, then even if we had to lose that, which we didn't have it regardless, even if we had to lose that by 70, all of that would have been paid off and we'd have been fine. So I thought. But then I talked to another child of his first wife who informed me that, he'd owed his mom over $100,000. And so that was why he didn't have accounts in his name and why everything was in my name and all the bank accounts and all the credit cards, which he left me heavily in debt, all the while promising me everything was going to be fine because Social Security was going to come in, it was going to pay it all off, but it was all, everything was, everything about my life for the last 17 years has been a lie. So, did I know shit was going on? Yeah, I mean, but I did not know the gravity. I didn't know. I knew he had tendencies. I knew he had ideologies, but I didn't know how much there was. And then, you know, while he was in the hospital, going into his laptop and not just seeing like his own personal regular email with his name, but then an ancillary Yahoo email with a different name, and then finding yet another one of in Microsoft with another name. And I mean, if you just read what he wrote, and that's why I read what he wrote, it would seem like you were reading something from someone with a multiple personality disorder. Now, I will say he did have multiple personality disorders, plural, but there's like a specific diagnosis of multiple personality disorder as opposed to multiple personality disorders, plural. I mean, and he was a malignant narcissist and had a whole lot of other, I mean, he was probably a borderline personality disorder. He definitely had a lot of problems, but I didn't see fulsomely until he was sick and dying and in the hospital, and I finally had a chance to be away from him where he wasn't compressing my space all the time, that I could think and breathe. One thing he used to say to me always is like he never wanted me to go on trips by myself because his complaint was every time you go on a trip away for a weekend or a few days, every time you come home, you want a divorce. Because I rested and I had some time to think, and I realized how fucked up my life was, and I wanted out, and I'd wanted out for years, but I couldn't get out, and the house was mine, and he played his weaknesses. It's a whole thing. So I hope this answered some of your questions. I'm culpable, I'm guilty, but I can also say I know that he kept me from rest, he kept me from sleeping. I will get to the point in the emails where he's talking about hiding my underwear in cars outside of the house. And when you do something like that and you have several dogs, the dogs are up constantly running outside, finding out what's going on because they hear something in the yard. So he kept me awake for 17 years so that I couldn't sleep and I couldn't think and I could never rest and I couldn't put things together. So yeah, hopefully this answered some of your questions. Feel free to ask more. I'll answer them as I can. Welcome back to Blue Panties and Bourbon, where I am reading the emails of my cheating deceased ex-husband because I can't afford therapy.
So this is only, I guess there was some conversation that went on before this. It was also off Double List. This is from June 18th, 2024, so just over a year ago, and a few months before he died. So my husband wrote to somebody, you mean a smooth, hot ass like mine? And the person replied, I can barely make out the pic. Are you able to host? Oh God, this dude actually put his real name and email address. Wow. Hey, Cleve. His name's Cleve. I won't say his last name, but his full name and email. I'm so tempted to email these people. I swear to God. Because this was just from a year ago. Anyway, I can barely make out the pic. Are you able to host? Starting Friday, this was my husband's response. Starting Friday through Sunday, yes. Cleve writes back, how old are you? My husband writes back, 53, too old. He was 71. He was not 53. So Cleve says, I see. I would honestly have to see a full, clear pic of your entire ass or see you in person. 53 is a bit older than what I'm looking for unless that ass is on point, and that's my main concern. God, the romance. To which my husband replied, no offense taken, totally get it about my age. To which Cleve said, what side of town are you on? He told him exactly where we were, Forest Acres. The end. Don't know what happened there. But this dude, has his full name and his AOL, which I'm 53. I have an AOL. I have a Gmail, but if you've got an AOL, yes, it's pretty old too. So I think Cleve shouldn't be judging on that one. Anyway, we're going to move right along. Hi, and welcome back to Blue Panties and Bourbon, where I read my cheating ex-husband's emails to the people he was trying to cheat on me with because I can't afford therapy. All right, so today we are reading one from June 17th, 2024. If you find another one where I'm in this same shirt, this is the same day he was writing to another guy. He was cheating on me like it was a job. So anyway, he's writing in response to this person's Double List ad. And he says, I feel like we should at least communicate some to gauge connection. I fit every criteria you wrote about. I want what you want. I fit your description of who you'd like. I'm 55. No, lie. He was 71. Married white male. Well, he was honest about that. 7 inches cut. Now, this is the one that baffles me. Because in different, answers, he changes the size of his penis, which I'm honestly baffled by. Because sometimes he says he's 7, sometimes he says 7.5, sometimes he says 8, but he kind of goes up and down that 1-inch scale, and I don't get it. Anyhow, verse bottom, I don't know what that means. If somebody wants to enlighten me, is it versatile? I don't know. Who loves oral and kissing and has prostate orgasms easily when I'm penetrated. He loves to brag about that. Loves to brag about that. I'm 5'11". No, he was 5'9". And weigh 184. Also, no. 33-inch waist, no. 44-inch chest, maybe. Bubble, muscular butt, swimmer's build, also no. He was 71 years old. He had a dad bod. He had a belly. It was like a melon. You could thump that thing. And it was more like 36, 37 if it had been around his belly button. But as long as he kept his, waistband around his hips, okay, he could still squeeze into a 33 with a button straining, but whatever. He sucked it in a lot on his pictures. Anyway, I'm told I'm pretty easy on the eyes. I am DDF, that's disease drug-free, is that what that is? Tested and will test again. Last was 2 months ago. Lie. I'd like one guy to be sexual with. I'd want us to be both DDF so we could play however we wanted without anxiety about safety. I like a lot of different male body types, and in bed for me, it's more about your passion than having a great body. Write me, please. Your ad was very appealing and unique. To which the answer was from someone named Rick. This is another one. I'm assuming, maybe it's not his real name, Rick's. Anyway, he says, you're the first one I didn't scare away when I mentioned getting tested. I totally agree that if we can get past that part and know each other is clean, it will really ease the anxiety with that, and we could relax and enjoy each other to the fullest. I agree it's all about the passion, something I crave always. I think we should meet. Are you local? Do you have certain times of your availability? To which my husband wrote back, also June 17th, 2024. Hey Rick, thanks for the reply. I usually have a pretty flexible schedule, and yes, I'm local to Columbia. This week is a bit unusual because I'm at a conference out of state until Friday. Why? What was really true was I was home. What would work on your end as far as meeting goes? Thanks, David. Oh, he put his real name in there, but this is what I love. So he puts his real name in there because his name is David, but his account on Double List was Michael. Blowing your cover there, dude. Oh, so here he sends another email. So this is still David. Hey, this is an afterthought email. Please read my earlier to answer your questions. I'm writing you to share a bit more about what I seek in a guy at the risk of maybe having you say, no, I'm not interested. But I don't want either of us to waste time, so it's better to tell you. This should be fun, gang. I'm not interested in causing harm to anyone's marriage. Okay, so Rick's married. But I do want a guy that for the time that we are together, whether it's an hour or overnight, I can be 100% passionate with. Meaning for me, giving him long oral sessions, giving him full body massages, both regular and erotic, kissing, touching, me being vocal. Okay, here, that man was quiet in bed. He was very quiet and he didn't like to talk, nothing. So apparently he was very different with the men he was with. And totally giving him my ass. Alrighty. I have not had a lot of male lovers. He's been at this for 8 years by now. So that, I have not had a lot of male love. Oh my God, is he going total simp? But I've learned that some men just get uncomfortable when their lover offers passion to them. I want one guy to be with who is comfortable with all that and knows I'm not trying to screw up his marriage by giving him the passion we may both be missing. And I did not say before, discretion is honored 100%. As far as meeting goes, we can split hotel costs when I can't host. All my best, David. Apparently he never got an answer because on June 18th, it says, looks like you quickly lost interest. That's unfortunate, but like I said, neither one of us wants to waste time, so best wishes and good luck in your search. Wah, wah. So that was that for Rick. Hi, and welcome to Blue Panties and Bourbon, where I am reading my deceased cheating husband's emails because I can't afford therapy. He was cheating on me with men, and I found out about that while he was passing away. I still took care of him until he died, but after he passed, I started going through all of the emails, and there's 8 years worth of them. And so I just started reading them. But since I don't really have anybody that I can talk to about this around here, because people liked him and cared about him, and nobody really wants to hear about the crazy shit that he was actually up to, I just decided to take it out in the world. I'm sure there's other women that have had to deal with situations where they found out not only that, well, not just women, people have had their partners cheat on them, but from learning all this, I found out that my husband had been cheating on me with men, and I feel like because I've read a lot of these double list ads that my husband was answering ads to, he's talking to other men who are married and are cheating on their wives, and it's in my area, and I have to feel like there's a lot of women out there that just don't know that their husbands are cheating on them with men because it's easier. Anyhow, so this is on the 1st of June, 2024, so just over a year ago. I'm filming this on July 31st, 2025. So just over a year ago, and keep in mind, my husband passed on the 29th of September. So this was just 3 months before he died. This is what he was up to. He had metastatic cancer. He had a brain tumor. He had tumors on his lungs. He had tumors on his kidneys and his adrenal. Don't ever think anything's going to stop him. Anyway, so he's answering a double list ad. And the person he's answering, he says, I'm 48, again, 71, 5'10", nice looking, very fit, muscular, 185, married white man, so he's being honest, who can host this evening downtown. I'm wondering where he told me he was going to be. And says, let's see, the person who answered him, who's referring to themselves as the Dark Knight. So let's see what Batman has to say. You look very fit and handsome, probably have a nice cock too. Never deep throat before, so you'd have to let me enjoy taking my time. I have some facial hair, but black hair as well with blue eyes that look pretty when looking up at you while I suck your cock. See, this is different. I mean, usually Dave's looking to bottom for somebody, and this is somebody looking to, go down on him. So that's new. Okay. To which my husband replied, can you meet up? I have a place downtown. Also looking for a hot companion to roll with tonight. To which Batman here replies, what do you mean by roll with tonight? Can you explain? To which my husband answers, possibly do MDMA. There's a whole story behind that, but I'm not going to get into it right now. And so he sends that at 1:34, possibly do MDMA. So a few seconds later, he says, great for long sex. And 4 minutes later says, anyway, not totally required. I'm about 7.5, like giving and getting, and I am a bottom. Okay, well, there he is. And then wrote, when the guy didn't immediately answer, wrote, okay, figuring you're moving on. Good luck and be safe. To which about 40 minutes later, the Dark Knight replies, I need to have that cock in my mouth tonight. It is so nice looking. I want to lick it and suck on the tip. Get it, boy. So my husband within minutes says, let's do this tonight. Would you want to fuck me? We can take our time. I don't have to fuck you, but I'd love to play with your cute ass. My cell is... And that's the end of it. So I'm guessing they actually hooked up. Moving right along. Hello, and welcome back to Blue Panties and Bourbon, where I read my cheating deceased husband's emails because I can't afford therapy. So we're on to another email. This, if you keep track of dates, this is also sent on June 1st. If you find this black t-shirt, I just read another email that was also from June 1st. Like I said, the man was cheating on me like this was a job. So here is David answering something that somebody asked him, I guess, on Double List. This is still coming from Double List. And it says, I'm that guy. So this person, oh God, these people writing their real names. Mark wrote, let's get naked. I can host. And also said, nice pic. To which my husband replied, thank you. How far from Columbia are you? To which Mark said, 48 miles. And David replied, I need a dom top. I give massages, oral and bottom, and yes, the picture is really me. To which Mark replied, nice, very much interested. I may be able at 1 today. To which David replied, I'm uncertain today if I am free, but with planning I can come to you. My cell is... I'm looking for one regular guy I can be submissive for. You sound very sexy, and I'd love to see a picture of what I'll be worshiping. Oh, that's a penis. And Mark. To which David replied, perfect, thank you. And Mark said, I can host anytime, horny as can be. Okay, I gotta scroll back to this picture. Fellas, what is it with penises and socks? I mean, can't you take your socks off? I mean, guys send girls dick pics all the time. And every time you see a dick pic, it's a penis and socks and generally bathroom tile or the television, which in this case, this is what it is. It's a penis, socks, and a television. I mean, dress it up a little. Put a little work into it. I mean, girls don't really want dick pics. Apparently, guys enjoy this. But, I mean, this sucker looks like a sad little mushroom framed by 2 white socks. Anyhow. So anyway, Mark's, I can host anytime, horny as can be. So to which my husband said, I think we might be a good match. Could you tell me exactly what you want in a submissive? Which Mark says, to kiss and suck me all over, mostly very sensually, seductively, easy, slow, and sloppy? Okay. You will be wanting to pleasure me, just all easy and slowly. Are you a good cocksucker or, question mark, question mark? Your stats, please, when I say it. Doesn't make much sense. To which my husband replied, I don't just suck cock, I worship it with my mouth. Your balls too. I will have my mouth all over you. I'd love you to mount me if you'd like. Mark said, when can you come by here and play? To which David replied, this is on June 2nd, 2024. Are you free tomorrow? Mark says, no. David says, when are you free beyond tonight? Mark says, today is great, but don't know. To which David replies, today you'd need to come to me. Mark says, possible, but where? David writes, I'm in Forest Acres. Mark says, that seems close to Hartsville. It's not close to Hartsville. Get out a map, you dumb bitch. David wrote, it's 5 minutes from USC. Mark says, are you around? This is still June 2nd. This is 5:45 p.m. To which David replies, hours, Friday, hey, had Zoom meetings today? No, he didn't. He doesn't do Zoom meetings. Will you be around Thursday or Friday? Mark says, don't bother, man. Damn. I mean, this is devolving quickly. To which David replies, I don't usually say stuff like this online, but fucking really? You want to drop the fuck out of my Sunday? You want me to drop the fuck out of my Sunday and drive 50 miles to you while you're not willing to do the same? And when I legit try to make a date for another day, don't bother, question mark, question mark, question mark. Don't fucking confuse playing submissive in bed with being walked on. You need to be much hotter than you are to get away with this shit. Ooh, girl, she got mad. So that was the end of that on June 3rd, 2024. That evolved quickly. Wow. Hi, welcome to Blue Panties and Bourbon, where I'm reading my cheating deceased husband's emails because I can't afford therapy. So we're moving on. We're on Monday, April 15th of 2024, so still just over a year ago. So here's David answering a post on Double List, and he writes, nice post, nicer photos, some questions. Your marital status? Question. What are you looking for in a woman? Nice booty plus? Question mark. Are you local? If I am married, issue or not? Your place or? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Also, shy can be pretty cute. To which the person who put his real name in there, Aaron, replied, someone real would be nice. Why did he say, what are you looking for in a woman? So David replied, thank you. Thank you. I'm married and my husband is older by 20 years. I'm thinking through asking his support for an outside affair since he cannot perform in bed, or just having an affair without him knowing. We have fantasized about me with a younger fit man, but taken no action. B. So he's pretending to be me. Fuck. Aaron says, but I'm looking for real life, just a lot of fakes and stuff, and I'm 42, so not young, LOL. I assure you I had no idea about this. To which David replies, all good. I'm Michael BTW, Israeli. Just realized I forgot to warn you. Most Americans see it only as a man's name. It is not. Motherfucker. I gotta go on that one. Hi, and welcome to Blue Panties and Bourbon, where I read my cheating deceased husband's emails because I can't afford therapy. So here's a new one. Let's see what's going on here. This was sent. We're still on June 1st, 2024. That makes 3 different emails I've read from this same day. I mean, like all around the same time frame, which is just astonishing. So let's see. This is someone named Nicholas replying to David. I'm located at, I won't name the address. I have $100 for hour, or $80 for 45 minutes, or $60 for 30 minutes, and for nude sessions, it's $150 for an hour. I don't know if this is a male prostitute or what's going on here. To which David replied, I'm confused. Nude sessions? You mean you're nude? Which sounds fine, just trying to understand. To which this person, Nicholas, replied, what time do you want to come? And he sent another reply, for hour and a half, 200, or 150 for hour nude, 100 for hour session? I don't know. To which David replied, I'm looking over my schedule now. With you naked, and I'd be pretty distracted and would probably want to do something, so naked is probably not a great idea. So from what I gather, there is some massage therapist, male massage therapist in town that's giving the happy ending massages, and David was setting up something with him. I mean, that personally offends me. I'm a massage therapist. I don't do things like that. It gives real, actual massage therapists a bad name because people think that that's what we do, and it's not. And moving right along. Hi, welcome to Blue Panties and Bourbon, where I read my cheating deceased husband's emails because I can't afford therapy. So this one is from April 11th, 2024. So let's see what we, oh boy, here's one where he's pimping me out. Great. So here's a picture of me in a bra and panties and him nude lying on our bed. I don't know who took that picture. Anyway, April 11th, write if you're real and we can go from there. David was answering somebody. Here's some guy named Bob who put in his full name. Morning, thanks for the pic. I'm real and in West Columbia. To which David replies, thanks, this could be a good connection. More info, please. We are married. Her 50. Nope, 2024, I was 54. Him 56. Nope, he was 71. Both fit and bi. Thanks for answering for me. What is your ideal situation? We are in Columbia. But that's the end of that. That was all she wrote. Okay. Here's new dude. Let's see what's going on. Oh! Wow. I was not expecting that. That is a close-up picture of my husband's rectum. Okay. So he's answering a double list ad. This is Monday, April 8th, 2024. Again, if you're tracking these dates, the man was busy. Hey, I'm 51, married white male who can host. 5'10", 183, very fit, muscular swimmer's build, nice looking, sane, DDF. I have great oral skills, and while I am masculine, I'm a submissive bottom in the bed for a right male. I give great head, and I can take a pounding. Good for you. Also give great massages. I'm in Forest Acres. To which this person, Jason, replied, hot, I'd love to get together. Give me a heads up about what time you're available, and I can work something out. Oh! And that's my husband in assless man panties. Okay. Hey, Jason, I'd love that. Pretty sure I can host towards weekend or after Wednesday. Here's my cell. That was the end of that. Who knows whatever happened with Jason. So, yeah, let's see here. Moving right along. I'm just, Jesus. Okay, this is a new person. This is Cody. This is just a normal picture of David. He's answering somebody. Well, damn, aren't you a little cutie? I'm 53, 5'10", 185, nice looking white masculine male, muscular athletic, 7.5 cut. Might like to take you into my bed for the night, make love to you, and knock you up. So this is a switch. David's usually being, the power bottom and talking to other people about wanting them to knock him up. Now he's saying it to someone else. So this is a switch. This is a little different. To which Cody replies, holy fuck, you're hot. You're exactly what I'm looking for. I would love to have you use me for your own pleasure, as long as I get to have your thick cock pushed down my throat as I'm looking up at you. Okay there, Cody. So David writes back, hey, Cody, hope this finds you having a good Monday. I'm looking for one boy, the right boy. God, I'm hoping this kid was of age. Not looking to roll numbers, looking into having one safe little hottie I can have as mine to affectionately dominate, dress up in panties, make out, breed, make him feel like $1 million girl? My girl. Let me know, baby. What I want may not be what you want. Well, so this is like a totally new facet. This is completely different because so many times he's talking to people about, wanting to be effeminate or whatever, but this is a switch. This is new. Wow. Okay. But that seemed to be, that's all that he wrote to Cody. Of course, he sent out, this was all on March 25th, 2024. Wait, so did I read that backwards? March 25th, and it ended up March 24th. So I did read that backwards. No, I didn't read it backwards. That was right, March 24th to March 25th. Anyway, so that's a big switch. I mean, that's what's made this, so puzzling and so confusing is, all of the different facets of the personality coming out is what makes this so weird. I mean, in a way, it's kind of, psychologically interesting, but to see just all the different stuff that he was looking for and how he would talk to and react to people. And this is just a whole new facet. So, wow. Yeah. Anyway, moving right along. Hi, and welcome back to Blue Panties and Bourbon, where I read my cheating deceased ex-husband's emails because I can't afford therapy. I'm starting new videos now. The previous 7 videos that I posted were actually from last year. I had filmed those, and I was just too scared to post them. But I've posted the first ones, and everybody's been really kind, and it's been a really great response. So it's kind of emboldened me to feel like I could do this and share it with people, and people could share what had happened with them, with me, because I know it's been happening to other people, and you get tired of being quiet about stuff. Anyway, so on to something new and fun. He's created another personality for himself. This personality is Jonathan Powers. So he's given himself a romance novel name and is off seeking new adventures in the wonderful world of Double List. So let's go to the laptop. So someone is sending this to him. It's a Double List ad. And he's saying, would love to chat and see how we mesh. Love the thought of everything in your post. I'm 49, 6'1", 200 pounds, athletic white male. Have always had a thing for femme dressers. Look forward to hearing back. Have pics I can share as well. Okay, so right out of the gate, this is new. So this is, I don't know if David sent him pictures of himself cross-dressing or just what. But he says to this person, ask anything. You sound interesting. So
These dudes and putting their real names in here. Hi, Mike. Let's everybody say hi to Mike. Mike says, I'm just west of downtown and would love to come visit. I've always had a thing for femme dressers. Love seeing thigh highs and heels. Bulge in your panties are a big turn on. All right. Love passionate making out and body contact. Are you a good kisser? Here's a few pics as well. Thanks, Mike. Ooh, this is a long response. Sorry, this one took a minute. So he says, hey, Mike, great pictures. I got pretty hot looking at you. First off, on kissing, I love it. As a side comment, I'm told I'm outstanding at it, probably because I love it. So let me take a little effort here and give you my version of being a submissive bottom. This ought to be fun. I love making a man who enjoys being dominant and catered to happy. For me, that means giving him the lead as much as he wants. I've been told I'm pretty feminine in bed, and I guess meaning I make out a lot and love giving long oral sessions, kissing, licking, nibbling, all over as well. I love giving long massage sessions as a giving gift thing. And since I have a grad degree in sports medicine? No, you didn't. Sorry. I can be as therapeutic or even erotic as desired. I'm pretty selective in who I play with. Tested 3 times a year. He's like a puppy with his tail going. He's like a simpy puppy. I'd enjoy finding one guy to really let loose with. That way safety is enhanced. I'm told over and over I have a girly ass. I guess that's a compliment. LOL. I have a spontaneous hands-free orgasms. And under stipulation, my nipples get huge. Stimulation, sorry. If I've turned you on, awesome. If not, I get it. I feel like it's better to introduce myself fully to save you disappointment if I'm not your flavor, LOL. BTW, I'm happy to wig up and dress up if you'd enjoy that. I'm 100% shaved, including my man. Meow. He actually wrote the words man. Is that a terminology? I mean, is that like a thing? Somebody tell me if that's a thing. I gotta know. And so Mike wrote back, yes, would love to see it. And any pics of you dressed. I'm definitely down for thigh highs, heels, and thong. Rest is up to you. Pretty sure that would work out perfectly for me. To which Jonathan Powers wrote, hey, Mike, of course. Absolute respect for your privacy and your relationship. I'm in the same boat. No, motherfucker, you weren't. He gives our exact address. I can often host on Wednesday or Thursday, usually anytime from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Now, I don't get this because Wednesday I'd have been here. Some Thursdays I went to see a friend that lives about 45 minutes away to see my friend and my godkids, so I'd be gone all day. So that time frame makes sense. But anyway, so he goes on. David goes on. It's an investment property. No, it was my fucking house. It was my father's house, and it was left to me, my house. Total privacy, duh. Discreet entry and exit. Yeah, I bet you got a discreet. And a bedroom for guests. No, that was not a bedroom for guests. That was his room, because I had kicked him out of our bedroom, so I didn't want his ass touching me anymore, because I'd been asking for a divorce. Anyhow, I'm happy to dress a bit for you. Definitely punches my submissive button. I think to punch your fucking submissive button. What would you like your lover dressed in? I can work on that this weekend. Maybe even get some pics for you. I do have a pretty naughty recent shot of my man. Meow. If you'd like to see, I get told it's very nice looking. Very nice. Definitely want to slide inside you. Feel your around my hard. I'm trying not to get kicked off here. So David writes, got it. I'll work on getting that together for you this weekend. My former lover, he was a coach and he made me pose for butt pictures before he all night and after. I bet that was tasty.
I think the difference is pretty clear. He teased me. You really do have a meow back there. He moved away this spring. I've looked since and no go.
Oh. Wah, wah. Jiminy Christmas. That's a really good pick. You look really good in that. The powers of communication and verbal skills is just mind-blowing.
I want that from you. I want to feel you swell up inside me and spasm.
Lord.
What are you doing tomorrow?
Then he goes, tomorrow is unusual. Oh, no, that was Mike. What are you doing tomorrow?
Tomorrow's unusual. I'll be in Charleston. I could set up something for Sunday. I'll be free from 10 a.m. till...
Oh, there he goes with that again. Blah, 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 blah. Everything else looks like it's just them setting up a hookup. Yeah, I mean, it's all just details. Where would you like... Oh, wait, no, what did I miss here? What? So Mike says, very nice. I mean, it's just like constantly, like literally like typing out, I mean, very nice. What do you like about my pics?
Everything. You're so male, and the outline of your in your briefs is so hot. It's teenage girl.
Where would you like it? To which Jonathan Powers / David says,
I'd like to spend some time worshiping it, kissing, licking, sucking it, and paying close attention to your balls. If you'd like that, then I can either bring you to orgasm in my mouth and swallow, or once you're ready, I can give you my man until you shoot. And that's not even going into all the kissing and body rubbing. Oh, joy. The best thing for me is the excitement that I get from treating you like a complete alpha, where you can, if you want, just lay back and be pleasured. And if you decide you want to, I'm 100% into taking your however you want to give it to me. I'm getting some thigh highs to wear for you and some new thongs, which means he was raiding my lingerie drawer. That's what that means. After he died, I found where he'd hidden in his bookcase my lingerie, my thigh highs, stuff like that. So then we are back to just setting up logistics. Well, thanks for hanging in for that one. That one was a long run. Bye. Hello, and welcome to Blue Panties and Bourbon, where I read my cheating deceased ex-husband's emails because I can't afford therapy. I also may have broken my toe yesterday, and beer is probably not the best idea, but that's what I'm going with. So we're going to have a beer, and we're going to read a new email, because I'm going to go back in the Wayback Machine. Like everything I've been reading to you has been from 2024. And I said I found out that he'd been cheating on me for at least 8 years. So I'm going to go back to 2020. So during the pandemic, he was cheating on me. And, which, I mean, bold move. So anyway, I found one from back in 2020, and I'm gonna need this. Okay, so it already looks weird. So this is a double list ad from October 16th, 2020. October 16th is 15 days before my 50th birthday that he said he was planning a party for me, but yeah, of course that didn't happen. Anyhow, his answer to someone was, I may be your boy. Can you tell me exactly what would please you? I don't know a grown man that says to another man, I may be your boy, especially when you're 70 years old. Anyway, oh God. The guy that answers him, his name is Rusty Baker. He goes, Jesus. Okay. You're gonna have to forgive me because I can't help but do voices when I read this. You'll do real good, big boy. You ever free around 1 a.m. to play in my shed so I can get some leg? Delightful. Okay. So David answered, oh, it's so prim and proper. I can arrange that, yes, with a bit of planning. So to the outside world, I'm a hyper-masculine guy, but from time to time, to blow off steam, I become, for the right man, something else. When that happens, and you'd have to see the ... It's great. I enjoy serving with passion. I enjoy giving massages, BJs, making out like a submissive girl, and offering my man to a masculine, bearish male. Could you tell me what of those things you desire? Because it helps motivate me to serve. Also, may I see more of you? Thanks so much.
To which Rusty wrote, I'm not a hairy bear, but a big guy. I like all types of ass that is smooth. May sound kinky, but also into big, smooth legs and hips. Want to mount you missionary on the floor of my shed and dig you out good and deep. Make you suck my nips and pick below. To which David responded, sounds like we're a good match. I'm guessing you want to breed me bare. You'll love my legs and ass. I'm a triathlete, both muscular and shaved. My pubes are trimmed and my crack is hair-free. And being mounted missionary is my favorite. Are you a heavy comer? My cell is. My availability is limited to Friday through Sundays. Is your shed comfortable for... Lord. Yeah, I like BB meat rubbing against meat. I don't know what BB is. Sorry, broke the mood. Nice. Can't wait to pin them big legs behind your ears. Plenty of room in my shed for 2 males to wrestle naked. Blankets on the floor and a chair fan if you need it. Sorry. My toe really hurts. Got your number. We'll text you around midnight to see if you're still the heat bitch boy. Want to deposit my dom seed deep in your gut. Let us know how you really feel, Rusty. Oh, here we go.
I love being bred with the sperm of a dom man, and hopefully we will click enough to where you'll want to keep me full whenever we can. I will be your hot bitch. Tonight and tomorrow is out. I am on the coast. Sunday is solid. I will drive from Rock Hill. If you breed me regularly and treat me well as your bitch, I will be your bitch for whatever gets you off. Did you see my pictures? Do you like?
Yeah, like the pics, okay. Sunday night late will work. Free about any night, but yeah, I need to get a regular, discreet bitch boy to take care of my animal needs. Let me know when you're ready. How will you tempt me? This should be good. Oh, sorry. I was laughing so hard I overshot it. Probably Rusty did too. All right. Let's go. I'm taking too long.
I will let you know about my availability, and it will be ASAP. Tempting you. I will spend as long as you will allow massaging your big frame, kissing and sucking your nipples for a long time. I will caress and tongue and suck your for as long as you'd like, and suck that big like your hot little wifey. I will beg you to pinch or bite or suck my nips so that you can see them swell under the hands of a real man. I won't touch my unless you order me to. I'll pretend like it's not even there unless ordered otherwise. I will take my stimulation from my only if that's to your liking, and can even see about locking my away, and I will speak to you as my superior male daddy, and you will be shocked that while you are in me, I will probably start having prostate orgasms while you, because I do. Multiple, and I can't stop them. I will lose control and be quietly begging you to put your seed deep in me to put out the fire. My will be clean and perfect for you, and I will tell you how much I cherish your seed deep inside of me, hoping you will go for another round. Any thoughts on that, sir?
To which Rusty said, "Sounds good, boy. I like all that. I will make you my bitch. I want that tender pink meat tight around my throbbing while I'm digging deep past that prostate and squirting my seed. Got a good fudge packer. Get it, Daddy."
Thank you, sir. I hope you will have a huge load to put in me. Sunday looks perfect. Will I serve you before you take my... What do you want me to wear? Jockstrap? Jockey shorts? Panties?
Surprise me.
Yes, sir.
And that was it. You'll have to forgive me. I was a theater kid. I can't help doing the fucking voices. It's just so insane. I mean, it's fucking insane, and I've had a beer. Anyway, never do anything you wouldn't want to explain to the paramedics. Have a great night. Bye. Hello, welcome to Blue Panties and Bourbon, where I read my cheating deceased husband's emails because I can't afford therapy. So today, I mean, I'd mentioned that he'd been cheating on me for at least 8 years when he passed, and so I've gone back, way back in his emails, all the way back to, this is from September 24th, 2016, and this is his Craigslist days, but he was still using his pseudonym of Michael. So let's see what he was up to. Okay. Hey, Lisa. It's a girl. That's interesting. My best friend had some email correspondence with you and afterwards told me a bit about you and what you are seeking. He suggested you and I and your partner might be a good fit for sexual exploration. I personally enjoy taking a lovely married or partnered woman in front of or with her significant other. This is different. I'm not adverse to travel for the right couple, and I prefer an ongoing thing, but accept and realize this is probably a bit much for most couples wanting to explore. He and I are pretty adept at guiding couples in this type of sexual exploration. I have found communication and clarity of the couple's desires and limits to be key for a great experience. I have been a I am so sorry, but after everything else I've read, this is... I have been a bull for a number of select couples, but I am a bit different from he is in that I am not so heavily wed to the hardcore cuckold way of sex. Been there, done that, made a few husbands cry. And prefer a more lighthearted approach. About me, former military officer. Okay, who needs to use stolen valor to get laid? I mean, my entire family has been military. Everybody. My grandfather, my father, my brother, my son. Everybody is military. This pisses me off. Former fucking asshole. Anyway, sorry. Currently engaged in defense contracting work? What the fuck, man? 5'11", 188 pounds, very muscular, blue eyes, shaved head, 8 inches cut, so he decided to be big for this one. And at 46, okay, he was 63 when he wrote this. Still able to go multiple times, love all night. HIV tested regularly for work, lie. Clean as clean can be always. No issue performing in a condom and honored to go bare with the right safe couple. Straight but not arrow. No issue with a woman's partner jumping in to mix it up to help please her. Totally cool. Great, actually. And putting on a sex show with wife if hubby just wants to watch. Dominant. You've probably been watching long enough to know that's some bullshit. Dominant, but unlike some guys, will have you wanting to please me. Now, one downside. He said you like body hair, and I wish I could oblige, but I spend most days in a flight suit. I spend most days in a flight suit at times, and that stuff gets pretty gnarly, so sadly, sweetheart, I am smooth. I don't usually do Craigslist, liar. But I liked your email that he shared because you wrote it. It was sexy, intelligent, and honestly, baby, most communications on here are done by guys who, if they even have a gal, want the sex the way they want it, not the way she wants it. Woman is the centerpiece and treasure here. This is about her first and always. Pictures attached. Much love, Michael. Motherfucker. I mean, it's different. Fuck. Hello, and welcome to Blue Panties and Bourbon, where I read my cheating deceased ex-husband's emails because I can't afford therapy. When I first started doing this, I was reading like emails from 2020. He died September 29th, 2024. And I was just reading the emails, like the first things that I had seen when I first found out what he was doing. And of course, later on, I found a lot more. So just for comparison, I've gone back and have been looking at him during his Craigslist days back in 2016. And it's really interesting because by 2024, he was just straight up looking for dudes. I mean, it was all dudes. The interesting part of that was like, I mean, his rainbow tastes were like an everlasting gobstopper. I mean, the longer you suck on it, the more colors you see. It was immense. But anyway, so we are looking at Craigslist right now. And Craigslist, November 14th, 2016, he's answering an ad. And he says, greetings. First off, excellent advert. I feel as if it allowed me to get to know you a bit, or at least to better understand what you seek. And to boot, well written. Clearly on Craigslist, that is a rarity. I too have been looking for a while. I'm not new to this, and I cannot claim, nor do I want to, that I am in the lifestyle. My contacts over the years have been hyper selective. And I tend to see a couple regularly over time and remain friends even if the sexual contact ceases. I've had several opportunities here, but the chemistry just did not ignite, so I have tried to each time to politely move on. Also, while some may refer to these arrangements as cuckold, I don't really care for that label if it engenders the expectation or desire that I will be disrespectful to either the wife or husband. Once the understanding of respect and trust is established, I can play a number of roles with a couple. You mentioned single males in your ad. I think your assessment is correct in most situations. I think there is a lot of hit it and quit it out there and plenty of guys who are simply lazy. About me, married, working in sports medicine, pretty damn sane and steady, super healthy. Work requires extensive blood work, testing every 3 months, and I have always added HIV panels, always negative. Damn lie. Damn lie. Complete and total lie. And my biggest quirk is that I am an extreme... My biggest quirk is that I'm an extreme kayaker and spend a lot of time rolling down white water. Beyond that, I love the outdoors, reading and playing music. I play several instruments. He played guitar. He was good at it. I'm not going to take that away from him. He was a good guitar player, but he didn't play several instruments. I know a lot of people socially, and I have a few good friends. Good beer and great conversation are awesome. Physically, I'm 5'11", at 186, with a 32-inch waist, considered pretty muscular, mostly from the 5 per week CrossFit workouts I do. What makes this insane is A, he did not do CrossFit, and B, he freaking hated CrossFit. He thought it was a cult and would complain about it constantly. Anyway, 5 per week CrossFit workouts I do. Don't worry, I'm not one of the nutty CrossFit guys. I don't treat it like a church. I just enjoy kicking my own butt. I would say my fitness level is excellent for any age and probably unusual in the extreme for a 53-year-old guy. 2016, he was 63. Non-smoker, social drinker, prefers sex or exercise, usually over getting stoned. Another lie. That man loved to be high. Loved to be high. Loved to eat mushrooms. Loved to take MDMA. Loved to eat Molly. That man loved drugs. Did he drink a whole lot? I mean, he drank. I have most weekends free with a bit of planning, and even if I am paddling, it's usually only one day and the evenings are open. Oh yeah, the whole My Package thing. It's nice looking, big, and works really well. Enough said. My work hours are pretty flexible, so meeting days with a bit of notice is doable. Hold on a second. Sexually, what I love about couples is being the sexual fuel that gets them off, being the respectful bull who gets to take a married woman and give her pleasure in front of or solo with the knowledge of her husband. It is a very powerful aphrodisiac and a role I love playing. I've been told many times that I'm pretty dominant sexually. Really, girl? Really? But in a self-confident and giving way, not as one of these chest thumpers. Any male can bellow that he is sexually dominant. Showing that maleness quietly through performance is the key. But then there are so many roles to experiment with. Oh yeah, the straight question. This will be good. Yes, I have no judgment, and I am comfortable with performing in front of a husband. I actually enjoy it. I really do like to do what I can to make his enjoyment of sharing is okay. And of course, it is all about her unyielding pleasure. There's so much to be said about the sex, but I will leave it here at the moment. If you've got interest, we can talk more about it, either via email, phone, or in person. Anyway, best of luck in your search, and I hope to hear from you, David. He actually used his real name. So I think that's kind of what I find. If I disassociate, which I'm actually really good at doing, if I disassociate myself from all of this, that's actually what makes this, I can deal with it more because in a way it's really interesting. I mean, the fact that 10 years ago he was either, I mean, honestly, I read a bunch of them today from 2016. He's either looking for a couple to play with or he's sending out pictures of me to catfish people. That's literally the only two things I saw. Catfishing and then wanting to be part of a couple. So, I don't know. It's just kind of weird. So anyway, have a good evening. Oh, by the way, you guys have been talking to me about that I need to monetize this. I don't know how to do it. And I was thinking about doing like a live maybe this weekend. So everybody, if anybody wanted to help me with that, I mean, I'll do a live, but in the comments, just kind of let me know, when is a good time? Are weekends better or week evenings better? I wish I could talk, but something like that. And I guess I need to see about how to monetize this. I still don't know. I mean, I don't hashtag stuff. I mean, I don't understand even what an influencer is. That just makes me think of the makeup kids or the kid that likes to smash himself in the face with a hammer. That's what I think of when I think of influencer. So anyway, I don't know. So let me know in the comments. I do try to read every one of them. If I miss some, I'm sorry. If I try to answer stuff too, but I've also pinned something to my page. If you've got more questions, hopefully I answered that. But I will do a Q&A, or an Ask Me Anything. I think that's what it's called. And, you know, just let me know. And thanks everybody so much for watching. Almost everyone has been amazingly kind and supportive and wonderful. And from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Thank you. It's made a crazy and incredibly lonely and isolating situation. I've felt better than I have since he was dying. So thank you. It means a lot. Have a good night. Hi, welcome to Blue Panties and Bourbon, where I read my cheating deceased husband's emails because I can't afford therapy. Quick note, a lot of you guys got on me about not monetizing this and really recommended that I do it. And after like really thinking about it, I did go ahead and do it. They said it's going to take like 7 days, but I don't even have 7 days worth of videos up yet. I've had a TikTok account for a long time, but I never posted anything. But so I did do that, and thank you everyone for encouraging me. It's very hard to do. I mean, I'm shaking. I just did it, and I'm still shaking. And the reason I'm shaking is I have a very difficult relationship with money. I don't like money. I mean, money is like a root of all evil sort of thing for me. Because when I was a kid, like when I was 11, my grandparents lived down the street from me, and my grandfather started molesting me when I was 11. And one of the things that he would do is he would call up to my family's house, and he would tell my mother to send me down for money or a present or something like that. And I knew what was going to happen when the door closed. And I didn't tell her until I was 14. And she just told me I was going to have to keep dealing with it, because at that point my father had left, and she said the family was mad enough at her as it was, and I was just going to have to suck it up and deal with it. So anytime he called, I had to go. And so I've always had a problem with money. It's not easy, and this is scaring me to death. And maybe because of some of the salty language in the earlier videos, they won't even let me do it. So I don't know. So I may not even have to worry about it yet. It might not be a thing, and it can be just fine. And we'll just go on, and everything will be okay. So we're gonna shake that one off, and let's go see what David was up to. Sorry, that was a lot. So this was sent September 27th, 2018. And it's a response. Nice post in a similar situation. I can never see the original post. I don't know why not, but I never get to see the original post. Anyway, nice post in a similar situation. Married white male, 5'11", 188, muscular and fit, attractive, healthy, sane, 7.5 cut. Here we go. That's the ½ inch up and down. I don't know. Smooth. Picture is really me. Can share more. Let me know. To which the person responded, "Hi, what are you looking for and what are you wanting to do? Like, I'm really new to this and very curious. I'm looking for someone to help me along and allow me to explore, as I will allow you to do the same. Not looking for just a quickie, really want to enjoy this experience. Like to see more pics of you. How much experience do you have? Are you bi or gay?" And to which David responded, "Bi, not a lot of mileage with guys. Pretty selective. I mean, why lie? Anyway, I can lead you out. Perfect situation. Drinks, hang out, hotel room, make out, perform oral on you, teach you about penetration if it goes intense, curl up, start process again, go all night if that works. Here are some pictures of me. What do you want to explore?" And this person answered, "I will try being verse. I won't rule out anything. It just all depends on how we get along and attraction or how horny I get. LOL. Are you a top or verse or question mark, and can you host?" Verse, no, cannot host. To which the person replied, "Okay, I'm not sure yet if I'm spending the night. I might if it all depends." To which David responded, "I can spend the night with you, LOL. I guess it all boils down to attraction and trust." To which the person replied, "Yes." David sent his cell. The person replied, "Okay, cool, I'll figure it out. that will come in handy. Thanks. To which she said, no problem. So I guess that went down. And alrighty. I mean, that one was actually fairly vanilla. So, let's see here. Here's something else. Let's see. This is March of 2018. That was kind of quick, so we'll do another one. So, Sunday, March 4th, 2018, at 6 in the morning. He was up early. He was up with the chickens. He was up with the chickens to get some... Sorry. It was a bad joke. It was terrible. Forgive me. Anyway, so here we go. I will start by saying I hit every one of your requirements. I carefully read all of your ad and except one. I just turned 50. 28. Oh, the hell no, you weren't. He was 65. 65. I just turned 50. The pictures are real, recent, and reflect me because they are of me. Unlike so much of the crap on Craigslist, I could really get off on having you watch me with your husband. Okay. Attraction is important, and I'm cool with seeing how this might go with zero pressure and no bad feelings regardless. You two sound like awesome play friends. If you have any possibility of interest, I will promptly send face pics once I know you are authentic. To hit the specifics, 5'11", 186, white, single, professional, tested vis-a-vis work 3 times per year, muscular fit, 32 waist, 44 chest, shaved, not hairy anywhere, handsome, sexual, long-lasting, solidly bi, love being with both sexes, all my best. David. Well, okay. Oh, and here's a picture of the couple. Well, their heads are chopped off. And here's a picture of the dude with his head chopped off. So they wrote back, you do fit the requirements and the age is okay with us. You have taken care of yourself and don't look it. Here are a couple pics of us. Do you have Kik? I don't know what that is. Or are you able to text so that I can add my husband to our conversation? Thank you for your reply to the ad. It was very refreshing. I had almost given up after receiving so much craziness from Craigslist, but where else do you look? LOL. To which David replied, very true about finding the needle in the haystack. Thanks so much for your reply. I like the idea of quickly bringing him into the conversation. Thanks. I hope your day is going well. Sorry, I forgot to include my cell, and here's my email. And that was that. So maybe that went down too. So the last one was from spring of 2018, and the other one was from fall of 2018. The man had some things to do. So it's always just so interesting to me, just the gamut, the range of what he was looking for, what he was doing. I mean, to me, it almost feels like different people sometimes. And so, I don't know. It's just crazy. I hope y'all are having a good day. And I'll see you in another one. Bye. Hi, and welcome to Blue Panties and Bourbon, where I read my cheating deceased ex-husband's emails. He's not ex-husband. He's just dead. Anyway, I read his emails because I can afford therapy. So let's see what David was up to on October 22nd, 2018. 8 days before my birthday. Thanks, hon. I can get away later this evening. 52, 5'10", 188, fit, muscular, shaved, good looking, sane, healthy, blah. To which the person answered, I'm sorry, this one is like, I'm having to read it backwards. Oh, hi, you put your whole damn name in there. Hi, Leon. Can you host? I do need a good blowjob and a nice tight. I'm available around 8 p.m. tonight. Okay, well, we are here to get down to business. Cannot host tonight, but still up for meeting. To which Leon, the reply was, okay, I can do that. What do you like to do? General stuff. Give you what you need and what you want. Oh, there's my precious little simp coming out. All right, darling. So the guy says, okay, sounds good. And you want an oral bottom, right? And you prefer no reciprocation, right? And the answer was, yeah, I really want someone that can make this come hard. Okay. May I see a picture of what I'll be pleasuring? I'm 8.5 inches, and I'm definitely clean as I'm in a relationship. Awesome.
Okay, is there anything else you want? Me dressed a certain way? Whatever.
You a CD? Cross-dresser? Cross-dresser.
If it turns you on. Panties, hose, bra top, and wig. Not passable, but feminized. Picture attached. Oh, please, God, don't let this be one of the ones I see.
Yeah, definitely turns me on.
Cool. Tell me what you want me in, and I will.
Panties, thigh highs, a wig, and lipstick. When can you host?
Either tomorrow or Friday. We'll know for sure by tonight. I guess you want me to play with only... Wait. I guess you want me only to play with you? No mutual? If so, that's fine. Should I tape my cock up?
So it won't get harder BC.
Up?
Aren't you supposed to tuck it, like don't you tuck it and tape it back? And then you put panties on? That's always been my assumption. To which he replied, I'm actually down for some mutual. Good for you, pumpkin. Way to be egalitarian. We're proud of him. But Friday I won't be available after work, but Thursday I will be around 7:30 or 8 p.m. Where are you located? I only top, but I'm down to try sucking your... Okay. Okay. Leon, I am downtown, but not free tonight. Did you say you were off work next week? I have 2 days when I can host over several daytime hours. Yes, I am. Which days? Are you in a house or an apartment?
In a house, and my cock is about...
Ooh, I said it. I didn't mean to say it. Sorry. About 7.5. And then something passed, but it's been deleted because the next thing the guy says is, sometimes watch this video. Nice. Oh, to which David replied, nice. Oh, that was what the video was of. Nice. It would be awesome if you could save it up for me. I have always wanted to feel what a woman feels when a man fills her... Pretty sure by this point he was very familiar with that feeling. I think he already knew. Pretty sure. So which days will you be available next week? Thinking Thursday and Friday. Nope, you did not. You didn't. You don't get Friday. Friday won't work for me, but Thursday can. Well, he really wanted Thursday anyway, dude.
Okay, downtown area. About 9 to 11 I can host.
I must have been going over to my friends and had already made plans. Okay, perfect.
Awesome. I look forward to being on my knees, sucking your and having you bend me over.
Is Thursday morning still good for you, around 9 or 9:30? Yes. David said yes, and that's the end. So I am going to assume that happened. So, okay. Well, there was that. So, anyhow, let's see here. Oh! I went to the next thing, and I knew I'd seen the blue panties somewhere. And I am now looking at the blue panties. That's why I named it this, Blue Panties and Bourbon, because I'd seen somewhere in all of these emails. I looked at all this like a year ago and read it all. Well, no, I didn't even read it all. I just looked at it a year ago and then like lost my mind and had a meltdown and was like, I can't look at it anymore. And so I didn't. It's all been sitting away. So anyhow, wow. You know, the crazy things, I'm going to answer actually a question I keep getting asked real quick because I'm asked over and over and over again, how did you not know? And I have been taking that question to be, how did you like not know he was cheating on you? And I guess some people are asking, how did you not know he was gay or bi? And then maybe some people are asking, how did you not know that he was cheating on you? And the answer is, I did know that he had inclinations. We had some conversations about that, but he'd also said many times over and over, he would never do something like that he was scared of it, so on and so forth. And okay, fine, fair enough. And the reason I didn't know he was having an affair is because it's really simple, because I'd given him permission to, if he wanted to, see someone outside of our marriage, I had given him permission to do that. For me, like, sexual fidelity is not a metric of love and commitment in a relationship. So if that's something that you need and that's something you want to seek out, and you can go somewhere and do something and it makes you happy, but when you are home, you are good to me, and it makes our relationship better because it's taking some overwhelming urge you have and giving you a place to put it. I didn't have a problem with that. I didn't. And so I told him, if this is what you want, this is what you need to do, then go ahead and do it. That's fine. There's only 2 rules. There's 2 rules. Rule number 1, you have to be honest about it. I don't want to hear what you're doing, but you need to be honest about it and tell me that you are doing it. You need to tell me you're seeing someone else and everything else, and it cannot interfere with our relationship. The other thing is, be safe. I mean, I grew up, my mom was a nurse in the STD department. My nightly dinner table conversations were STDs. I'm terrified, lived in terror, because, I mean, I'm Gen X. This is in the middle of the AIDS epidemic. My mom was an STD nurse, and like I was the oldest virgin I knew. I mean, I couldn't even kiss someone without thinking about mono and herpes and everything else, because that was my nightly dinner table conversation. I mean, I was messed up. I was like, yeah, no, don't touch me. So I was just like, you have to be honest and you have to be safe. And so you don't expect someone that you have given permission to them to, if they want to see someone else, to go see someone else. Just, bring your ass home and don't bring anything else home with you. Fine. I mean, we can have conversations. I'm an adult. I'm a grown person. And so it's like some guy standing there by an apple cart, and he hands you an apple and is like, here, have an apple. And you say no. And then when the guy turns his back, you steal the fucking apple. The guy with the apple cart doesn't expect that. Why? Because he just offered you the goddamn apple, and then you stole it. So David's a little frickin' apple snatcher, and I didn't expect it. So I did know he had tendencies, but no, that's why I really had no idea until like really towards the end of his life, when he was getting sloppy, that he was cheating on me. Anyway. Hello, and welcome back to Blue Panties and Bourbon, where I read my cheating deceased husband's emails because I can afford therapy. So let's see what David was up to on the 23rd of October, 2016. Cool, 8 days before my birthday. Thanks, hon. Your ad is probably one of the best I have seen on Craigslist, and it seems as if we may be on the same page as far as what we are all looking for. Don't be me, don't be me, don't be me. I am a 49-year-old white male, attached, but I have my spouse's support for couple play. Thank God it was just him looking for somebody else. Okay, I have been with couples before, and I understand the dynamic. I am trustworthy, safe, sane, know when to guide and when to lay back. I prefer a couple who is not jaded, and because of personal preference and health safety, I'm very particular about with whom I have sex. I'm 5'11", 188 pounds, 32-inch waist, very fit, muscular, but not freakishly so, shaved. I am well packaged, a bit under 8 and girthy, cut. My eyes always get comment. I have a genetic mutation only found in Norwegian men, where my iris looks like blue broken glass. Since the description good looking is meaningless, I've enclosed a headshot. You can decide for yourselves. I prefer extended sex sessions and can go as long as my partner likes. I am straight, but accepting that in a male-female-male, there is a likelihood of some incidental male contact, and I am cool with that. That's a fucking understatement. Being watched doesn't bother me at all, as does many guys who seek couples, go figure. And condom use is accepted by me as the norm, and it will never be questioned. I will play bear if, and he wrote it in capital letters, if I get to know and trust. Like he's not a whore. Like he wasn't an absolute whore. And if the couple so requests, but that is something to be hashed out openly so we are all comfortable. I have bulled for a few couples over the years and always have had a regular situation with them, which I prefer. I can do light bondage. I can do light bondage and cuckold, but I will never disrespect either of the couple, not during sex or after. Dominant play is just that, play. I can be dominant without the asshole behavior so many guys exhibit. I have a flexible schedule and have time to hang out and to play. My ideal would be a friendship with both of you, but I accept that many couples are uncomfortable with that, so it's really your call. I can also just be the regular play guy. Either way works for me. I work in sports med and discretion is critical because Columbia isn't LA and folks here seem to have a lot of judgment around private lifestyle choices. Wow, this was a lot about me. What about you two? Anyway, I hope to hear back from you and have a great day. Dave, maybe if you've been trying to get you some Jesus and not some ass, you might have been a better person, fucker. Well, that was that. There's nothing else there. So, okay. Let's see here. Let's just go to the next one. So this is Wednesday, October 26, 2016. So 5 days before my birthday. To see if there is interest. Married, fit, experienced, but very selective and health conscious. Looking for regular boyfriend. Oh, it's me. He's catfishing. Fucker. All right. Let's see. What's the next one? Okay. La. Let's see. Hey, first of all, what an enjoyable and well-written advert. Refreshing. We may be a long shot. This was November 2nd, 2016. So 2 days after my birthday. Like it was a job. Like it was a damn job. If this man would have put a fraction of the effort into our relationship that he put into cheating on me, we'd have had a good relationship. Fuck. Anyway. Hey, first off, what an enjoyable and well-written advert. Refreshing. We may be a long shot, but it never hurts to try. We're a married couple in Columbia, and although we are only an hour plus from Charlotte, this Friday looks unavailable due to prior obligations. He's pimping my ass in Charlotte. So, if there is future opportunity and interest, let us know. We've been married for 8 years, both very fit. While we have played before, we're not regular. Health and safety awareness and just plain selectivity on our part dictates finding the right playmate. We never respond to an advert if he doesn't seem in sync with us, our attractions, goals, etc. We are enclosing pictures. Please do not be confused by B's rotating hairstyle. She keeps it buzzed and wears wigs. You are looking at the same woman. We hope to hear back from you. Hey, thanks for responding. You're an attractive couple, and I sure would love playing with you too. Your wife is super sexy. I enjoy women who take care of their bodies. I will be sure to connect with you next time I'm that part of the country. To which David replied, hit us up around Friday morning if you've not found your couple. Our situation may change by then. If so, we could be open, and that is the end of that. Fuck me! November 10th, 2016. Fuck me! I am following your instructions. Your ad nailed our feelings. Here are some pictures of her. And that's it. That's that one. Fuck me! Fuck me for a monkey. Just fuck me for a monkey. God damn it!
God damn it, November 8th, 2016. Looking for long-term bull in Colombia, free all weekends, can travel and host. I'm 5'3" and 110. If interest, we can write proper emails with details and more fucking pictures of me. Fuck me. What? November 6th, 2016. Hi there, a bit about us. Married for 5 years, together almost 10. We've had some selective participation in the lifestyle and have come to be fairly skeptical about finding our match, perhaps because we would prefer a single guy who wants a more regular relationship than recreational. Live in Colombia. Here's my stats. A number of pictures are attached. Don't be confused by her shifting appearances. She loves playing with her looks, especially her hair. If you're all interested, we're happy to seek more and more fucking pictures of me. Fuck! There are people who do OnlyFans. There are people who do OnlyFans. There are people who do OnlyFans. There are people who put naked pictures of themselves out in the world, and the world does not stop. I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. Just pimping my ass all over the place. Day after day after day. I might need to get out of 2016. I really probably need to get out of 2016 because ooh, fuck me for a monkey. Anyway. Hi, and welcome back to Blue Panties and Bourbon, where I read my cheating deceased husband's emails because I can't afford therapy. So moving on, I had to get out of 2016. I don't think that was really good for me. Probably wasn't good for anybody else. I kind of drug you along on my trauma train, so apologies. So let's find something different. Let's go a little further. Oh, one thing. People have said start at the beginning, and in a weird way, I kind of did. When I found out while he was in the hospital, it was like the third night he was in the hospital is when I looked through his laptop, and then I found out he'd been doing all this. And I started shipping things over to my email, and I would like look through a few things, ship it over, look through a few things, ship it over, look through a few things, and ship it over. And that's why it's like all over the place. It's because I was just sending like brackets of them, and I sent from his laptop to my laptop. I sent like 150 emails, but there's still over 100 still in his that I haven't touched at, I haven't looked at, or anything else. So I did all this over a year ago, and but I couldn't read it then. It was too much, and I just stopped. I kind of I spiraled real bad, and anyhow. So let's find something else. This is somewhere in the middle of everything I sent. This is like email 71 of 151. So I just pulled this up because the tagline is giving my ass to a fat guy. So let's see here. So on May 19th, 2022, he said, "Man, why the hell do you think I wouldn't take you up? You made me laugh, and honesty is pretty cool. Think you just moved to the head of the line. Look at you being so egalitarian." To which the guy says, "You guy, like, dudes putting your real name and your work email addresses. I mean, I'm not trying to help anybody out cheating, but your real name and your work email address?" Anyway, the answer was, "Well, I'm popping a Viagra and getting in the shower. LOL. Is that really your ass and pics? I have to come to you." And he said, David said, "I can host tonight, and yeah, can be ready. So yeah, really my ass." And so like that was 5:09 on March 19th. And then like an hour and a half later, he sends another email that says, "You in or not?"
damn, boy, it's like not even an hour and a half. Cool your fucking jets. Hey, man. Oh, here's another one. So, on the 24th, so like 5 days later, hey, man, I was really kind of turned on to get with you. What happened? To which the guy replied, I was waiting for a time and place. You were waiting for a time and place for 5 fucking days? How about Saturday, daytime? Sounds good. That was the end of that. So, let's see here. What else have we got? God damn, here's another one. Is this me? Thanks for the reply. This is somebody else talking to him. Thanks for the reply. Sounds great to me. I'm only interested in people that are passionate and loving, and then I will take it from there. I am dominant, but up to a point you want me to be. Would love to get together. A pic would be nice, but not mandatory at the moment. Let's chat first, or however you want to handle it. I am very discreet. I promise you, when you leave me, you will never forget it, and beg me to come back. And he said, to which David responded, I have an early work schedule in the morning, but feel free to text tonight. I should be up until 11. If not tonight, we can certainly talk voice to voice sometime in the morning. Well, that one wasn't very interesting, was it? Okay. I mean, I'm just randomly just picking stuff up. So let's see. Oh! Damn it. It's me again. We're not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that to myself. I'm just not. Okay. Woo! Okay. Well, that was a picture of your ass in the mirror. Hey, great post. We are... Nope. Not... Nope. Nope. Not doing it. Not doing it. Damn, no. I'm sorry, this is got to be boring. I'm just flicking through things. Okay, so here we go. So this is December 4th, 2021. He's responding to a doubled list ad. Married, white bottom. I enjoy giving long blowjobs and ball sucking. I have a round, muscular ass that enjoys being bred. Stats, 50. 2021? No, the hell you weren't. You're almost 70. Good looking in DDF. 5'10", 185. Muscular fit, smooth body, and smooth hole. Can come to you and can sometimes host. Ideal would be regular sex. Discretion is a given. I can get off on delivering my mouth and to you for your pleasure. No reciprocation required if that gets you off. 7 inches cut. Again, what is it with the 1 inch up and down? Sometimes 7, sometimes 7.5, sometimes 8. But like, if he's like really kind of like simping, he'll say 7. If he's like looking for women, or if he's looking to do some bull thing, he'll say 8. Pretty thick, and if hard, will have a prostate orgasm without even touching my... If you are interested enough to respond, I'll send you a confirmation email back with more pictures. One attached is really me, not some knockoff. Okay, sounds hot. What's up, Bubba? Hey. Well, I'm into it if you are. And let's see. Then he sends another one, giving our exact location. Can you be free days at all, or evenings best? I usually need to plan a day or so in advance. If you will, please tell me what would get you off the most. Any requests? I can give you a massage before I start on your... and have a glass of bourbon ready for you. Can have naked pictures, vids for your pleasure. Wear a jock or whatever. I do have some pretty blue panties. There it is! There it is. I knew I'd seen it. I knew I'd seen it. Ha-ha! That's why I called this Blue Panties and Bourbon, because I remembered seeing this at some point, but I didn't mark it or star it or do anything else. I mean, I knew it was here somewhere, and we just found it. And that motherfucker was stealing the bourbon that I kept from my best friend because she likes bourbon. And so I always kept some really nice bourbon here for you. And that fucker stole it. Not only did he steal it, he put the empty bottle back in the drawer where I hid it so no one would find it. Just put the empty bottle back. But so anyway, there it is, kids. There's the blue panties and bourbon. Ta-da! So now it makes sense, hopefully. Anyway, y'all have a good night. Bye. Hi, and welcome to Blue Panties and Bourbon, where I usually read my cheating deceased husband's emails because I can't afford therapy, but I think I might be taking this page down. It hasn't even been up a week. But some people invited me out last night. Hey, Tanae. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your birthday and all of your wonderful family and friends. It meant so much to me. That's really the first time I've been out amongst people, honestly, since he died. And it meant a lot. It meant a lot to me, and everybody was so wonderful. So thank you, Tanae, and thanks everybody there. I wish I'd caught everybody's name. It was just so many people. I couldn't catch everybody's name, but I definitely wanted to shout out Tanae because she brought me kind of out of the hole that I've been in. So I really appreciate that. But while I was there, one of the girls showed me on her phone, I think it was Sean. It was Sean. Hi, Sean. Showed me on her phone that like the internet sleuths, while I know internet sleuths will be internet sleuthing, not being satisfied with going and finding what he looked like. Somebody posted a picture of him and my grandson. And, you know, actions have consequences. I never expected any of this to, you know, I didn't expect it to go viral. I didn't expect anyone to see it. I literally looked up, you know, being on YouTube, like, not YouTube. I did post a couple to YouTube. The first time I posted videos, I posted 2 to TikTok and 2 to YouTube at the same time. And I guess that's how, maybe, that went viral. I've been told you can hear toenails in the background of my dogs walking around, so that's what that is. But, anyhow, I looked up what you were supposed to do, and it said, you know, do 30 to 90 seconds and have a, you know, bright background, have something going on in the background, be doing something, put on your makeup, cook, do something like that, you know, figure out what hashtags you want to use to draw attention to your page. And I made a conscious decision not to do any of it. I actually went in the exact opposite direction. I mean, obviously you're sitting here, this is my kitchen, you're just looking at the ceiling in my face, and you know, I thought it would be more like, you know, just kind of inviting someone to sit in here at the kitchen table with me and talk. But you know, actions have consequences, and I should have thought about that, and I didn't. And I don't want my family hurt over this. I don't want them, you know, I just seeing a picture of my grandson, I already felt a lot of guilt about doing this. I was already afraid of doing this. I mean, every time I post, I'm scared. And even though I'm trying to laugh and give people something to laugh about, and I really wanted to, you know, have a place that some stories are just so crazy, and so many people have gotten in touch with me and have said that the same thing happened to them. Not this, that they were cheated on, but they were cheated on by a spouse that was on the DL. And I wanted someone to see what I was doing and what I had been going through. And it is a whole next level of silence that you are trapped in when something like this happens. You know, people understand affairs and stuff like that, that when, you know, it's something like this, I mean, it makes people really squeamish, you know, I mean, like, and they don't really want to talk about it with you. And it's just such a taboo subject. And kind of my thought had been, well, let's make it a little less so. You know, let's just go ahead and sit down and talk about it. And we all need to acknowledge that there's a lot of men out there that are on the DL. They are out there, they're cheating on their wives with men because it's easy, and you don't have to spend any money. There's no dating. There's no having to buy presents. There's no anything like that. I mean, this is really literally just a, hook up somewhere and hit it and quit it, and without like emotionality. And without someone wanting to, I mean, especially amongst married men, without, messing up the relationship that they have with their wife. But, I should have given more thought to this. And, I may just take it down. And I know that the internet is forever, and whatever damage I've done is done. But I'm not going to do any more. My friend yesterday had actually gotten in touch with me. Jen. Hi, Jen. Jen had gotten in touch with me, and I was already saying I was feeling guilty and nervous, because when I saw that one of my videos went over, actually two of my videos went over 1 million views, I was just like, oh God, what have I done? What have I done? And I said I was thinking of taking it down then, and she referred to it as posthumous alimony, which was really funny. And, to help me be okay with it. And, I thought I was going to be, but then again, to see that someone posted pictures of my grandson, I may just have to stop. So I'm not going to be posting anything else today. I need to sit down and think about this. And for everybody that has been so kind and so wonderful, I thank you for all the women who've gotten in touch with me and said that this had happened to them and they appreciated it. No, we are here. We are here, and we need to not hide in our house like I have been hiding in my house for 2 years. So, anyway, have a good day. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I'll figure it out. Bye. Hello, and welcome to Blue Panties and Bourbon, where I was reading my cheating deceased husband's emails because I can't afford therapy, but then had something really kind of uncool happen. Somebody decided that it wasn't good enough to just go be nosy and go see what he looked like. I mean, I never mentioned his last name, and his last name and my last name are not the same, and I stupidly didn't really figure that somebody would go so far as to track me down to track him down. But you, in a series where I think in every single video I am talking about how hurtful it is to have someone use photos without consent, that somebody went to his, I guess, Facebook page and took a photo and then put it out on the internet on a page attached to where I'm talking about some of the most fucked up things imaginable. You attached a child's face to that. So I had to take a couple days to really calm down. And I think in a way, we're going to use that as a teachable moment and be really careful about putting children's faces out on the internet. We love our kids. We love our grandkids. We want to show them off. But then things like this can happen. And there's been so many people in my comments that have said the same thing has happened to them. And if they spoke up and then you went snooping and put their grandkids or their kids out on the internet, I mean, you really need to think about what you're doing. And I want you to know I prayed about you. I prayed hard. And when I go outside and pray, I put my feet in the grass and I put my eyes to the sun. And I ask to be judged first. Because apparently I did something stupid. And that is my fault. And I take that responsibility. And I want to be judged first. And then the second thing I ask for is, if it's deemed fit, I ask for justice. So I want you to sit with that, because the way the universe has seen fit to give me justice is my husband died ate up of cancer. My mother that abused me and pimped me out to my grandfather, her liver exploded from cirrhosis because she was an alcoholic and she had stage 4 liver cancer. My grandfather died with Alzheimer's and dementia in a VA hospital with no one around him. And the last time I saw him, when my grandmother died, that no one wanted my grandmother to know. We all had to keep my grandmother from knowing. And so they decided it was better, my whole family, because every single little girl in my family was molested by my grandfather. And my grandfather was a deacon in my church, and we couldn't sully his reputation. So every single little girl in my family had to suffer for that. And he died alone in a VA hospital, not knowing whether he was coming, going, or been there. And the last time I saw him, when my grandmother died, that man was absolutely terrified because he didn't know what was going on. And he looked at me and he said, "My wife just died." And I went, "Yeah, I know." He didn't even know who I was. But I did get a chance to stand there and go, well, I asked to be judged and I asked for justice. So be real careful about who you fuck with. Because for a hot second, I almost got driven back into my hole. And I had just left this house. Just for the first time, when Tanae asked me out to her birthday, and I met a whole group of people, my wonderful melanin-blessed sisterhood that came out again and hugged me and held me and listened to me. And we laughed and we took pictures and we had a great time. And I almost got robbed of me. But it made me sit and think about all the people who have come here and said that they had been hurt, and maybe it was the first time they'd ever said what had happened to them. And it's happened to men and it's happened to women. It's not just women. I'm not just dragging women. So, almost close. But let me tell you something else. When you mess with somebody that has PTSD as bad as I do, and I am struggling to handle, I'm the adult child of 2 alcoholics. I struggle with alcohol. And I had a rough couple of days. But I remembered who I was. And while my heart was beating out of my chest, and I was shaking, and I was crying. And it's actually the first time I've cried since he died. So actually, maybe in a way, it's a service, because I haven't been able to cry. But I finally did. But my heart beating out of my chest, I decided to think of it as remembering to be alive. And the feeling of feeling like I was just on fire, and a feeling like I was dying and wanted to die, is just something telling me that there's a part of me that needs to be burned away. There's some part of me that needs to die so that I can move on, so that I can keep going. And I'm a Halloween-born Scorpio. And we know that sometimes some part of us has to die for us to come back and be bigger and be better. There's old stories and Native American tales of people having a thunderbird in their chest when they're coming into their power. And that's what it feels like. It feels like there is a thunderbird in your chest. And I am going to choose to take it as if this is something that I need for a transformation. This is something I need for my growth. So maybe I needed that pain. Maybe I needed that burn. Maybe I needed it. Maybe I needed it. Because it made me look at myself and decide whether I was going to go back down or whether I was going to come outside. And who I am. And there's that old phrase, remember who you are. And I don't think I ever knew who I was, but I know who I want to be. And I can walk through the fire to do that. And I've walked through plenty of fire in my life. And I'm going to be just fine. And here's another part of it. And here's your story for today. Honestly, I don't have much time left. But it's the story of David in the hospital. He was only in the hospital for a week the first time. Initially, I was not going to say anything to him about what I had found. I didn't think he was ever going to leave the hospital. The man was ate up. But then they were going to send him home. So the day they said they were going to send him home, I confronted him about this. And I said, you know, I needed to talk to oncology. I need to talk to counseling. And I needed to talk to psychiatry. And he was fine with it for a second, then said, why psychiatry? And I said, because you've been cheating on me, and it's going to be very hard for me to take care of you because I know what you've been doing. And he just said, you're just jumping at shadows. You've been in the hospital too much. You haven't slept. You're stressed out. That's not happening. And I said, I've read your emails. I know you did it. I know you did. And then he just immediately, bam, switch flipped. And he went, well, what do you expect? You're such an ice cold fucking bitch, and we haven't even shared a bed in 5 years. What did you expect? I've got to do something. And I went, well, I'm going to guess that you think I just saw your emails. I didn't see just your emails. I saw Michael's emails. I saw Jonathan's emails. I saw all of your aliases. So you've been at this for more than 8 years, so don't bitch at me about the 5. I don't want to hear it. And he just looked at me and went, fuck you. And I went, that's what you got? That's what you got? Okay. Well, you can't even say you're sorry. And he went,
I'm sorry. Happy.
And I went, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Okay. And so I got up and I walked over and I kissed him on the cheek and I went, goodbye. And walked out. I had talked to his doctor. I was supposed to pick him up the next day, and he was gonna have one last visit with oncology, and then he was going to be released, and he was due to start. So this was like on a Thursday. It was either a Wednesday or a Thursday, but he was going to start treatment on Monday, and so when I checked in with the hospital the next day to pick him up, he had already checked himself out and had disappeared. And so I started calling around trying to find him, and finally found him, and he had checked himself out, and he'd gone over to a friend of his house and hid. And, then they called me later on, and he said he had to go get his medicine. It had been called into the Kroger. So I went over to pick him up. He wanted the card. He wanted my card. And I'm like, oh, hell no, motherfucker, I ain't giving you my card. No, that will not happen. So I took him to the store with me, and I got his medication. And, I was like, we're going to go back and we're going to get your things, and I'm taking you home because we need to have a conversation. We need to have a serious conversation. So I took him back over to his friend's house because his clothes, his guitar, his phone, books, there's a bunch of stuff that I had taken to the hospital for him, like so he could play his guitar and stuff like that. And, I took him over to his friend's house, and I went inside and I asked his friend for his things because I was taking him home, and his friend refused to give them to me. And I was like, I need to take him home. He needs to go home. And his friend refused to give them to me. He's like, I want him to stay here with me. I want to make dinner for him and hang out with him. About that time, David crashed into the front door. I mean, the man could barely walk. And he crashed into the front door. And so his friend opened the door and put him in a chair and was like, I really just want to keep him here tonight and have some time with him, before I lose him. And I was like, I really think he needs to come home. We argued about it back and forth. And then finally I was like, you know what? I'm in your house. Fine. Keep him overnight. And it was to help me. And so I went home. Well, he stayed with them for 9 days. In the meantime, his friend, two of his friends, and himself, drug me all over Forest Acres. And I mean drug me all over Forest Acres. They called my stepchildren. They called mutual friends because we'd all used to hang out at Pizza Joint before it burned down. So we had a lot of mutual friends. I mean, I thought I was friends with his friends. And, but no, I mean, they called family, they called friends, they called clients. I lost every one of his clients. I mean, and they drugged me. I had one friend forward me. Some friends knew me and knew better, and called me and were like, what the hell? And one friend actually forwarded me a text that was like, okay, I've got some really hard things to tell you about Brandi, and blah, blah, blah. Hope you know me well enough and trust me well enough to believe me when I tell you that she is one of the vilest human beings I've ever had the displeasure to be associated with. She's the worst person I've met recently and probably ever. Something to the effect of that. I still have the text. I can read it. I can find it somewhere. I don't really like thinking about it. But drug me all over. While he was there, he even changed his medical power of attorney to these people. And, oh yeah, the other part of that text was, we do not trust Brandi with David at all. At all. Full stop. She is not allowed over here. The stupid thing is, I didn't try to go over there. So, whatever. Anyhow, so they had a good time dragging me. And I actually... I was in the STD department the day of his stroke, and I had sent a text to one of his friends like, excuse me, why has his medical power of attorney been changed over to you? And I got sent back, he just had a stroke. If you're going to see him, you need to come to the hospital. When I got there, she had... Didn't mean to give a gender there. But there was a room full of people standing around him. And another mutual friend had been called in, I'm going to assume, as the bodyguard. Because when I say I walked in there in a rage, I walked in a rage. And when I walked in, they were just bringing him back. And his doctor was there. And I was like, hi, I'm Brandi Hammond, I'm his wife. And his friend looked up and goes, oh, it's okay. You can talk to her. So I went outside and spoke with the doctor and was like, what's going on? He's like, he's had a massive stroke. And he's not going to make it much longer. And I was like, dude, we need hospice on this. And he's like, yeah, you need hospice on this. He's like, he's like, I'm going to go ahead and get in touch with them and have them get in touch with you. And okay. And I went back in there, and there's just all of these people just standing around. And I was standing on the other side of the bed. And when I say I lost my shit, I lost my fucking shit. But even losing my shit, I'm a quiet person. I did not raise my voice, but I can theatrically hiss like a motherfucker. And I was like, what the fuck have you been doing? What the fuck have you been doing? You don't know my life. You don't know what I'm going through. And you called my children. You called mutual friends. I've had people blowing up my phone wanting to know what the fuck is going on. I've had people call me up and cuss me out because of you. What the fuck is wrong with you? And I was told if I didn't lower my voice, which I was not being loud, if I didn't lower my voice, I was going to have security called on me. And I was like, well, you call security, I'll give you a reason for security to be here. Promise you that. Promise you that. That person kept coming back to the hospital for 3 days and then had the audacity and temerity one time while I was sitting there to walk up behind me and hug me and say, I know you don't want this hug, but I'm giving you one anyway. And I said very quietly, you need to take your fucking hands off of me. So that person finally stopped showing up, but that person was also calling their friends to come into the hospital to see him. And that person was always in the hospital with another mutual friend of mine whom I spoke to and was like, I am really sorry that you're here to be the bodyguard, but my days of throwing hands, unless you start something with me, don't bring none, won't be none. And the days when I used to jack people up are in the past. but that was pushing me really, really far. So that is the story of David in the hospital. But I stayed there around the clock for the 5 days it took him to pass, waiting for the kids to come in. We got stuck on orthopedics because there wasn't any room in oncology. We were in the last room on the hall. It was during Hurricane Helene. Power went out. They were short-staffed. The phone, the buzzer in the room didn't work. I was having to run up and down the hallway, and especially the night of Hurricane Helene, he was in so much pain that even though in the stroke, he never woke back up, but he was trying to get out of bed. I was literally having to hold him down in the bed and yell for help because they were keeping him on very low doses of morphine, and there was an on-call doc that kept overriding hospice because it was oncology. He didn't realize and didn't know why we needed the amount of morphine that we needed, and I had asked for a morphine drip, and I was overridden, and so they were just coming in, you know, every couple of hours and just giving him a little bump. They were giving him like 2 milligrams. It was nothing. The man's brain was literally exploding, and it took a day or so to sort that out with hospice. And he was running 102 fever. It was bad. I mean, I had to pack him in ice. I mean, I turned him, I cleaned him, I cleaned out his mouth because at that point he couldn't close his mouth anymore. And you know, we were pretty much just waiting for the kids to come in. And once the kids came in, I was like, let's crank this up. Let's go, let's do it. So I kept him stable until they got there, and once they got there, and they could say their goodbyes, he passed like a day or so later. And so anyway, so that's today's story. Hello, and welcome to Blue Panties and Bourbon, where I was reading my cheating deceased husband's emails because I can't afford therapy, but I'm taking a break from reading them for a while, possibly for forever, because apparently reading something like that, I guess just the level of salaciousness was enough to ring a dinner bell for a whole lot of bottom feeders that decided to swim up and chew on the bloated corpse of my relationship. So I'm not going to do that anymore, especially since some people decided to bring my family into it, and BTW, fuck you. But I have seen a bunch of stuff, and a lot of times in those things, there's a lot of snickering in the comments about the fact that I wanted to be a swinger and was just mad because David got to do it and I didn't, and then I found out and I was mad. Yeah, let's go ahead and talk about that. We're going to sit here and talk about that. So everybody that thought they were going to get a story, go do something else. You know, it ain't going to be the tea that you wanted today. So we're going to go do something else. It's the end of my day. I'm taking my hair down and whatever. So let's talk about that. Swinging. That is not anything I ever wanted to do. If you've looked at enough of my content, you should realize by now that I have had more than my fair share of SA in my past, and I've only told you about what happened before I was 18 years old. So no, I did not want to be a swinger. Had no desire for any of that. It terrified me. My mom was an STD nurse. I'm terrified. Always had a problem. Hard time having sex. I mean, the fact that the first person I had sex with wasn't the last person I had sex with was a very difficult concept for me to deal with, even though the first person I had sex with was my first, I can't even say he was my boyfriend, I thought he was, but the first time we had sex, it was not what I wanted to do, but I was too frozen to say no. So, Anyhow, so yeah, no, I didn't want to be a swinger. So reading all of that stuff about what David was putting out into the world has been very difficult. But the other part of it is that while we were together, he was pressuring me for that. He wanted that very much. That's I don't know I don't even know necessarily swinger, but he definitely, I mean, the bottom line is he wanted to watch me. He wanted to watch someone with me. And that is such a thing. That is, that's wanting your wife to be your porn. And it's crazy what a thing that is. I mean, if that's a consensual thing between a husband and a wife, and or a husband and a wife and, you know, another partner, be it male or female, okay, you do you, boo-boo, that's fine. That's fine. You know, as long as no one gets hurt in that transaction, it's fine. You know, but that's the point, is you have to be safe. You know, and everybody has to agree. And my problem is that having lived my life the way I live my life under extreme pressure, and I didn't know this at the time. So in another small, like, offset teachable moment, I hope y'all understand that I do one of these and I'm done. So it's like I'm just talking, especially now I'm just going to talk off the top of my head because I don't have a script in front of me. I didn't understand until I studied Dr. Stephen Porges' work and started learning about polyvagal theory, and to understand, like, vagus nerve pathways. Even though I'm a neuromuscular therapist, there's certain things that, you know, I didn't learn while I was in school, but I have learned more about vagus nerve interactions and the enteric nervous system and polyvagal theory. I didn't know at that point in time back then that it wasn't just fight, flight, it was fight, flight, freeze. And every one of those is a valid response to stress, fear, trauma. You know, you fight, you freeze, or you run. And all creatures behave differently. It's like a deer freezing in the woods. Like, they sense something going wrong, they just freeze. You know, it's like a possum playing dead. It's the same thing. But I mean, it wasn't really applied to humans until recently. And like, they're really still only just coming to understand like the enteric nervous system. Like, when we were kids, there was the central nervous system, brain and spinal cord, and then everything that went out of the spinal cord, peripheral nervous system. But the enteric nervous system is a little different because of the vagus nerve. Vagus nerve is your 10th cranial nerve, and it starts up in your primitive hindbrain, deals with your limbic system and everything else. And as it comes down, it doesn't go through your spinal cord like a central nervous system, but it doesn't come out of your spinal cord like the peripheral nervous system. It goes in front of your spinal cord, and it touches every single organ system in your body, finally terminating vagina and anus. So it is the controller. They don't know where to put it, first of all, on like nervous system charts. You'll see it all over the place. But it controls how you experience feelings of safety and fear response and everything else. So I mean, that's why learning how to breathe properly, learning how to calm yourself down is so important. I've spent a lot of time studying that because, like I said, I can't afford theory. You know what I can do? I can go get a book. And whether it's studying polyvagal theory with Stephen Porges or reading Bessel van der Kolk's The Body Keeps the Score, you know, I've had to try to learn and educate myself just so I could try and work on me intellectually and handle myself and deal with myself. I've also read David Berceli's work. I can't say I agree with him, but, you know, I'm me and he's him, and, you know, I don't agree. Part of his work is the concept that to deal with trauma and to do trauma release, that you have to put a body basically in extremis. Let's say you have someone do a wall sit until they fall off the wall and they just engender a twitch response where they're just kind of lying there and they're just twitching. The idea being that kind of like dogs shake in thunderstorms to shake off their nerves and stuff that's stored in them, that's going to help you deal with your trauma. And if it works for somebody, it works. You know, but when you read Bessel van der Kolk, Body Keeps the Score, he's very careful to explain not every system of therapy works for everybody. So like that wouldn't work for everybody. Like talk therapy wouldn't work for everybody. Every single person, your trauma is unique to you. And so what's going to work for one person isn't going to work for you. It depends on what happened to you. So you have to know that. Grant yourself some grace in dealing with all of that, in how you deal with trauma. Because there's no one answer. We're all different. We've all dealt with different things. So going back to where I started. So again, no interest in swinging, but he was very, very much pushing me to do it. And I have to sit here and deal with my own personal shame that under a lot of pressure and duress, I did give in to that a few times. And I hated it. And it was demeaning and defiling, and it was awful. But I can look at it now and also know that it was meant to break me. I argued against it. I did not want to be treated like a circus monkey, just there to dance for someone's entertainment. But did I cave in? And on occasion, did I do that? I did. But it wasn't fun. It wasn't pleasurable. It was embarrassing. It was demeaning. Even if someone was basically kind to me, the fact that I'd been forced into a situation that I didn't want to, and was lucky enough to find someone that wasn't unkind to me, you know, I wrote something down the other day, and just to remind myself, just because you're grateful for your freedom does not forget the pain of your servitude. You don't. So, just like I said in another video, I'm going to stand outside and ask to be judged first. So, for everybody that's out there snickering, this is me standing in the light of judgment. Did I cave into that? I did. I did. And I am ashamed of myself. I'm not happy about it. So, hope it was funny. But here's the thing. I have seen also from people talking to me that I'm not the only person that has been pushed or pressured into something like that. And while I am not reading any of his emails, I have seen emails where a lot worse was planned for me. And after hearing the story of the woman in France whose husband had drugged her and brought people in to SA her, and she was brave enough to speak up, I can't do any less. I had thought really hard about taking this down and getting rid of it. But then who would I be? Who would I be if at the moment of standing up and speaking out, someone shut me back down and shut me back up? And it's not going to happen. But I have seen emails where things were planned for me. So, as I hope you can see if you've watched enough of these, that he was getting sicker and sicker as things went on from 2016 to 2024, what he wanted, what he was talking about, what he was getting excited by. And it's kind of how I understand like porn addictions work. It gets worse and worse. It gets more and more. It gets, you know, you're not getting your jollies off just watching two people have generic sex. It's got to get weirder. It's got to get wilder. It's got to get, you know, there's got to be toys. There's got to be more people. There's got to be this. There's got to be that. There's got to be the other, you know. And, you know, the stuff that I found here after he passed away, oh, good God. The underbed restraints, the cock cage, the wrist restraints, the toy that looked like it belonged to a small horse, shit, everything. So it just seemed to build and build and build and get darker and darker and darker. And, you know, that's why I've said before I was afraid to leave the house for 2 years. Because almost 2 years, because people knew where I am. I mean, they had exact addresses. So this has been a long journey. But so if you wanted to know if I was just knickers in a twist because I didn't get to go out and have fun. No, I didn't want anything to do with it. I wanted to be left alone. As a matter of fact, I'm fairly certain I want to be left alone for the rest of my life. So, bye. Shit. My phone gave me a message and wouldn't let me turn the thing off.